My name is Malcolm Munro, and I'm the president of Total Career Mastery. Today I'd like to talk to you about the greatest hits of open-ended questions. Now, if you've looked at my other videos, you'll know that I have one on the 6-step exploratory coaching process. If you haven't watched that one, then shut this one off and go back and watch that one, because it gives the process that you would use with an employee to really help them figure out what some of their dilemmas are and how to get through that. The key element of that 6-step process, of course, is the open-ended question. What I've done is I've written down what I think are the 8 best questions that you can ask, one of them being a statement that will help that person decide what it is they need to do. Keep in mind that an open-ended question is always got an answer. There's no yes or no. It's designed to get more information flowing. So the first question is, tell me more about that. Person comes and says, I'm really wrestling with this thing, and here's my challenge. And then you would say, well, tell me more about that. Your job is to listen while they talk. And then maybe, what happened? What happened when you tried that? Get some information about what they've already done. How do you feel about that? It's a great question to ask when you don't know what else to ask at that point, because sometimes the emotion that comes helps you figure out what the real issue might be. How's that working for you? That's Dr. Phil's, isn't it? You know, you watch his program and he's got some guy on there that's all stressed out, and Dr. Phil says, you know, what's going on? And the man says, well, Dr. Phil, I have a wife and I have a girlfriend and I have a boyfriend. And Dr. Phil says, how's that working for you? Designed to let that man know that he's done some things that have probably complicated his life somewhat. This is a good way for them to really own what's going on. What would perfect look like? You see, when you're dealing with someone who's very stressed out, they could be very depressed. And what happens when you start to ask them about perfect is they get out of that rut that they're in. Once they're up high, you come right underneath and say, how can that happen? What's one thing you can do to make that happen? Notice the questions start to get a little more proactive here, but we do have this statement right here in the middle. It says, that's interesting. That's a good one to use when the person says something really stupid and you don't want to shut off the conversation, but you just don't want to tell them that's good. So, that's it. And don't forget the Now, what would happen if would be the first crack you have at really giving them a suggestion. What would happen if you tried this? Have you ever thought about this? The final one is the big one. It says, may I offer you a suggestion? This, by the way, is what they probably wanted you to say way up here at the top, but it's too early in the game. Remember, they have to own whatever decision they make, and they will only own it if they created it. You will help them create it through these questions. And when you say, may I offer you a suggestion, and they say, no, you don't make a suggestion, you don't have permission. However, if they do say yes, please don't jump in and say, well, if I were you, I would do this. Because number one, you're not them. Number two, then they can blame you if it goes wrong. You would say something like, what would happen if you tried this? Have you ever thought about this before? You see, at the end of the day, you're going to look like an absolute genius because they will have done all the talking. They will own the solution. It will absolutely work. This is the counterpart to feedback. Feedback and coaching are the lifeblood of performance management, which is the most important thing any manager or supervisor can do. You know, if you are a manager or a supervisor and you struggle with this, or if you own a company and you have a lot of managers and supervisors that struggle with this, we can certainly help you. Go ahead and check us out online at totalcareermastery.com, or you can email me directly at coach@contactmycoach.com, or you can give us a call at 301-909-TCM1. We'd love to help you. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for checking out our video, and have a great day.